What is good, YouTube? What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Delight, or you guys can call me Delight Gamer, whatever you guys are comfortable with or prefer. Be sure to drop a like on the video, or if you guys are new to the channel, that in all my YouTube videos and other videos on my channel. I greatly appreciate you do so. Alright, let's get straight into this. We are going to be reacting to why is Five Guys so expensive? Let me know what you guys think. I will go and start this up and let's watch it. I may pause here and there through the parts just to give you guys my honest opinion. By the way, let me know if you guys have had Five Guys. I've only had them once and they were pretty good, but I don't remember being that expensive either though, but maybe they are. But let's get into it and let's see what they all have to say.
Five Guys Burgers and Fries has become a phenomenon the world over, and not just because of its catchy name. From the notably tasty food to the iconic 50s diner aesthetic, there are plenty of reasons why this burger joint has been on the minds and lips of foodies.
Hey, what the name of ground beef is going on? Mr. Bailey, try this. Dexter, I don't know.
But the most pressing topic of conversation is also the least flattering. Why does a trip to Five Guys have to break the bank? Well, today, we're ordering up the never-frozen truth and taking a peek into the greasy paper bag of Five Guys history to learn once and for all, why is Five Guys so expensive? Before we get grilling, make sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, head down to the comments and let us know what other pricey food you'd like to hear about. Okay, if there are only Five Guys, how do they make so many burgers?
Why do you want to eat this stuff anyway?
Between 2010 and 2011, Five Guys Burgers and Fries was the fastest growing fast food chain out there, with a 32.8% increase in sales.
If you know TV, you have YouTube TV. Join
Today, there are nearly 1,700 locations worldwide, with even more on the horizon. But even as Five Guys looks to be thriving, it has also come under fire by its target demographic. Millennials have been blamed for killing everything from the diamond industry to fabric softener to Santa Claus, probably. And now it looks like Five Guys might make the list. While their food may be delicious, it's also pretty pricey compared to similar fast food chains. Depending on where you are in the world, you can probably go to your local Burger King, Hardee's, In-N-Out, McDonald's, or Wendy's and get a burger for less than $4, with Hardee's being the cheapest at just $2.29. Getting a similar meal at Five Guys will be almost 4 times that amount at $8.89 for their little single patty burger. Five Guys' most expensive.
Okay, that's crazy, dude. $8 for a burger? I'm almost spending $30 for a burger, man, when I can go somewhere else, man. Burger King or anything else. That's also like me personally why I go to small mom and pop burger places. Like where I live out here, there's a place called Willie's Burgers, and that place I love, man. They make great burgers, man. You get burgers, you can get fries, or you can get uh what is it? Onion rings. You can also always get a triple deck. It's called a slammer. Really good. That's the nickname of the burger. You can get 1 patty, 2 patty, a 3 patty if you want. If you do get a slammer 3, it's a 3 patty, but anyways, yeah, that's crazy, dude. Anyways, let's get back in the video.
Burger is their bacon cheeseburger, which totals a sticker-shocking $13.09. That's almost $3 more than their closest.
No way. That's just for a burger, bro? $13.09? Bro, oh my goodness, that's expensive, dude. Why? That's craziness. I'm gonna have to try Five Guys again just to see, dude. Like, on a serious note. My goodness.
This competitor, McDonald's $10.19 double bacon quarter pounder with cheese. And no, that doesn't include fries or a drink. Ouch. A meal that clenches your heart and your wallet.
Oh, this is a big one.
After the rest.
I was just wondering that, dude. That's without any sides, bro. Dude, you're tripping, dude. Oh my goodness.
Restaurant chain's initial explosion in popularity in the 2010s, fans of the chain gradually began to take notice of the hefty price tags en masse. But the controversy has taken fresh form in more recent years as people take to social media to air out their grievances with what some called highway robbery.
So I'm just wondering, why the food here is so pricey.
Hey, come on now. What robber leaves you with a burger? Fans flock to the defense of Five Guys, while detractors vehemently disparage the brand. And though it can't be denied that the restaurant is a comparatively costly fast food option, there are reasons for Five Guys' pricey menu. And they're a little more nuanced than the founders' need to maintain a fleet of personal watercraft. But first, we've got to go back to the beginning. The time, 1986. The place, Washington, D.C. The advice, about to be served hot and with cheese. Jerry and Janie Morrell had saved up $70,000 for their 4 sons to go to college, but had noticed that their oldest boys weren't exactly the scholarly type. They decided to give them an ultimatum: either get a degree or start a business. Their sons chose the latter. That same year, the Morrell family used their $70,000 as startup money to open up their first carry-out burger restaurant in a shopping center in Arlington, Virginia. Jerry and his sons
I kind of like that they get in the history about this, though. I really do. I will say that's crazy. So him and his 4 sons, that's why it's called Five Guys. Okay. I'm wondering what they were charging back then for some burgers, though, bro. That's like on the crazy part I'm curious about.
Matt, Jim, Chad, and Ben became the titular Five Guys on the sign. But 2 years later, the Morrells had another child, a 5th and final boy named Tyler. At that point, Jerry removed himself from the equation and decided the restaurant would instead be named for his 5 sons. Pushed out of the business by an infant, how did Jerry ever recover? Of course, he remained involved in the business, even though his name technically wasn't on the sign anymore. Five Guys evolved over the years as the guys perfected their burger-making art. In this early stage, the Morrells adopted a simple approach to their restaurant. Five Guys Burgers and Fries offered totally fresh food. Their buns were made daily by a bakery in the same Arlington shopping center where their restaurant was located. They hand-formed their burger patties, their free peanuts were refreshed often, and their toppings and ingredients were never frozen. This commitment to freshness, as well as their signature French fries cooked in peanut oil, garnered a cult following.
I will say it's still like that, because when I went there, I now remember it, they do still use fresh ingredients all the time. So it's probably another reason why it's so expensive. Like Burger King and these other joints are not like that, man. So that's probably a reason why it's so expensive.
Following without a single peanut allergy in sight. Even the Pentagon took notice and tried to put in an order for delivery of 15 burgers. Jerry Morrell refused the order, telling Pentagon officials that Five Guys doesn't do deliveries. Allegedly, an admiral personally called Morrell to tell him,
Alright, let me start it back up. Sorry, guys. My mom was just doing something. So, yeah.
Morrell, everyone delivers food to the Pentagon. In response, Morrell put a 22-foot banner outside the restaurant that read, "Absolutely no delivery." Five Guys doesn't negotiate with the Pentagon.
You don't have to be a VIP to get more than just savings with Geico. Every customer gets 24/7 fast-friendly claim support.
Could I get a picture?
Yeah, it's not like you run into animal celebrities.
Word quickly spread through Arlington, and between 1988 and 2001, the Morrells opened 4 more Five Guys restaurants around the Washington, D.C. area. This time, they included dine-in seating to let their newfound customer base sit, enjoy their meals, and take in the white and red checkered environment. From there, the Morrells started offering franchise opportunities in Maryland and Virginia, which is when the brand really started to take off. They struck a deal with Mark Mosley, a former kicker for the Washington Redskins, an unstoppable record setter before his retirement and foray into business. Mosley would take on the responsibilities of franchising Five Guys, while the Morrell family focused on the food. This proved to be a very lucrative partnership. In just 18 months, Five Guys sold out.
That's honestly a smart business decision, because you started in Washington, D.C., and we know Washington, D.C.'s team is the Redskins, or as now we call them the Commanders, but if you go in the history, that's the Redskins. And that's smart, too, because he's a kicker. Even though he's a kicker, he was in the NFL and in the league, so he's got money. So that really helps on both sides of the business.
Of their available franchise territory in both Maryland and Virginia. In May of 2009, then-President Barack Obama gave the chain some free publicity when he made an unscheduled stop at a Washington, D.C. location while filming an NBC News feature with Brian Williams. Obama ordered several meals for his staff: a cheeseburger with ketchup for Williams and a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomatoes, jalapenos, and mustard for himself. He shelled out $80 for the order and fled the gathered spectators with his paper bags in hand.
Thanks, Obama.
By the 2010s, the brand had become a beloved regional go-to, similar to the West Coast's In-N-Out chain. At the time, it was difficult not to weigh the two against each other. The style and color palettes of their restaurants, burger-focused menus, and never-frozen foods were all mirror images of each other. Each brand had their die-hard fans and their die-hard haters. But as the years went on, Five Guys was seeing a lot more of the former. They expanded their franchising efforts into the rest of the country before going global, with new locations popping up in Asia, Canada, Europe, and the Middle East. Then, in 2020, indoor dining and eating establishments got a little more complicated for some reason we can't quite recall, and Five Guys was forced to innovate. A location in Surfside Beach, South Carolina, opened up and decided to retain the drive-thru window left over from the previous business. This way, customers wouldn't have to walk inside the restaurant during the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. This made the Surfside Beach location the first ever Five Guys with a drive-thru. Yes, you heard that right. Five Guys had been operating without a single drive-thru window for 34 years.
That's crazy, bro. Almost 40 years without a drive-through. And on top of that, like, I will say it's smart they finally did that, because they could have, some of those companies or just businesses could have shut down from COVID. So, like, when COVID had that going on, that was insane, bro. But okay.
In 2023, Five Guys moved their company headquarters to the newly built fifth floor of a building in Alexandria, Virginia. Despite all these massive changes, the Morels have continued to own and operate Five Guys as a family business, and the menu has remained surprisingly unchanged. Five Guys Burgers and Fries offers basically what it says on the sign: burgers and fries. There's also a grilled cheese and veggie option for those with dietary restrictions, hot dogs for anyone looking to change things up, milkshakes for that 50s vibe, and free peanuts for all. But otherwise, Five Guys keeps things deceptively simple. What exactly does that mean? Well, when you look at a Five Guys menu, you won't see any fancy titles or marketing language. You're ordering hamburgers, cheeseburgers with Kraft American cheese, and bacon burgers. That's it. The deception comes in when toppings get involved. With over 250,000 combinations to try, ordering is anything but simple. Five Guys offers ketchup, mustard, mayo, barbecue sauce, hot sauce, and A1 sauce, as well as relish, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, jalapenos, green peppers, mushrooms, and onions, which you can get fresh or grilled. The fries, which are often too generously heaped into an order, can be served as is or Cajun style. And then there's the secret menu, where you order cheese fries or a patty melt if you're feeling extra spicy. The restaurant prides itself on its excessive choices, and that pride isn't limited to the food. Five Guys was also the first burger chain to adopt the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine in 2011, giving guests free reign over their fountain drink experience like some kind of impossible soda wizard. That's all well done and good, but why, for the love of...
So those are where those machines came from. Because I was wondering, bro, when I was like, I think in high school, my senior year, those machines started to show up, and I'm like, dude, what are these? And dude, I remember you trying to find the flavor you want to drink, and you just could not find it, dude. Yeah, it was like some like they said, a wizard machine or some genie made this thing or something like that. That's crazy.
Cajun style fries is the food so pricey.
What if you can create your own website by saying, "This is what I want"? With Wix, you can.
There are actually multiple reasons why Five Guys has remained so disproportionately expensive when compared to similar burger joints. The first is the early commitment to fresh ingredients, which was carried over from the original 1986 restaurant. Fresh food costs a lot of money, and shipping it all over the world without freezing it is costly. The buns might not be made in a bakery in a Virginia shopping center like they used to be, but they are still made fresh off-site and then delivered to stores. Likewise, their beef and toppings are all shipped fresh and stored in coolers rather than freezers. In fact, as a commitment to never serving frozen food, there are no freezers in any Five Guys locations anywhere in the world. Another reason for the high price point is the portion sizes at Five Guys.
That is good to know and interesting. So none of them have freezers like McDonald's would and Burger King and joints like that. That's kind of good, because not eating processed garbage. So starting to make sense a little bit. My burgers on this are more expensive, but at the same time, dude, it's like the prices just for a burger and not fries or any sides is still kind of like mind-boggling, you know?
It's a well-known fact that the restaurant loves to smother you in french fries, but the chain is equally magnanimous with its toppings. You can pile that burger as high as you want, and you won't see a single dime added to your receipt. But while you aren't paying for your egregiously large helping of grilled onions, you are paying for those specialty french fries. The peanut oil Five Guys uses to cook their fries is a less common product than canola oil, which is favored by many other fast food chains, presumably for its lower cost. Of course, location and changes in the market also fluctuate prices. A bacon burger in Vermont is priced lower than one in California, just by way of the cost of living differences. And if one of the vendors raises their prices, Five Guys responds with a price hike as well. Outside the cost of food, Five Guys also puts their employees through uncommonly rigorous training and offers various assistance programs for continued education. Full-time employees are eligible for retirement savings and health insurance, and all employees get one free meal during their shift, 50% off meals off the clock, and twice-a-year bonuses.
So they get bonuses twice a year, so it's a really good paying job, man. And you get training, like food safety type of trainings, which I'm guaranteeing jobs like McDonald's and stuff like that don't do that because those are just entry level jobs and how to flip burgers. So that's kind of what they just said there is crazy. But I kind of get why I'm starting to get why more and more it's so expensive. So
Overall, according to the sixth guy himself, Jerry Morrell, what it comes down to is this: Five Guys would rather raise prices than sacrifice quality. In other words, the prices aren't going to come down anytime soon, so make sure you load up on toppings. So what do you think? Is Five Guys premium fast food or just overpriced?
well, now it makes sense of why it's so expensive. So makes sense why it's so expensive though. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, your honest thoughts and opinions of why Five Guys is so expensive. If you guys want to watch the video, go watch Weird History Food right here. Anyways, it's going to be it here from me. Be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe, guys. I'd appreciate it. It's been your one and only boy, Delight, or Delight Gamer, and I'm out. Till next time, guys. Peace. I will catch y'all later.